The Iranian war has also been playing out on social media. It's the first significant war where the White House, the American president, and their adversary are targeting each other publicly, and it's exploding on social media. They're Lego-style videos targeting a specific audience.
From talking big, finish the job on TV. But every jet you send is a gift back to me. You beg for 48. Thought we'd kneel and stop. We laughed in your face. Keep taking the L. Pop, 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 pop. Jet down, jet down, jet down, jet down. Trump screaming, losing ground. Hey, orange pig. America first? Oops. Oh boy, that was the slogan you stole. But Bibi's pulling strings and your vote is getting cold. We're not just fighting for Iran, hear this clear. Your people reached out to us. Yeah, we got the DMs here. If one nation's gonna stand against the Epstein regime's fear, it's us till the last breath. We've been doing it for years. We're standing here for everyone. Your system ever wrong, they've known all along. The enemy was always you.
These quickly produced AI videos pop up on social media, usually tied to news events like after President Trump's threats to blow up all of Iran did not materialize.
Taco Tuesday, big threats on Monday, then the chickens out Tuesday. Power plant day, bridge day, all that tough talk. Now he's folding again, what a joke.
Taco referring to the acronym Trump always chickens out.
It's Taco Tuesday.
Created by a group called Explosive Media, which claims it is not associated with the Iranian regime, but its pro-regime stance and the fact that it has internet access in a country that is virtually cut off from the global internet may suggest otherwise. And the video soundtracks are even being posted on Spotify.
Yeah.
Iranian embassies are on board too. When Donald Trump posted his warning that Iranians would soon be, quote, living in hell, end quote, if they did not open the Strait of Hormuz, the embassies mocked him online. And the Iranian embassy in Tunisia chided him with this single post.
Flawless victory.
The official White House account, meantime, is posting videos like this one called Justice the American Way, mixing their Iranian strike videos with popular American films.
Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
What will you do without freedom?
Mavericks inbound.
You can't conceive of what I'm capable of!
Finishing this fight.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
I am the danger.
But this has caused the most blowback. The White House putting this on social media, mixing a Call of Duty video game with real war footage. It enraged the public so much, it was later deleted.
We're winning this fight.
Joining us now is Professor Darren Linvill, who studies social media and its effect on our social discourse. And Professor, it's great to have you with us this morning because we have seen these AI Lego videos filling up our social feeds. Some are pretty funny, they're very odd. What is going on here? Who is behind these things, and what is the audience that they're trying to target?
Many of these videos are created by a group called Explosive News that seems to be out of Iran, and they describe themselves as a sort of media collective of young people. Now, whether or not this organization has any direct ties to the Iranian regime is still up for discussion, but it's clear that they are doing the work of Iranian propaganda. They are also very good at it. They are creating content that really connects on social media. It's spread organically to a wide audience because it's irreverent, it's tongue-in-cheek, and it really speaks the language of the communities that they're trying to engage with.
Well, and that's the thing, it's the cultural cues. It's not like this is a foreign power that doesn't understand American culture. Whoever's making these really understands American culture and the soft spots.
Absolutely, they do. And that's key to good propaganda. You know, if your propaganda is only being repeated by the accounts that you control or your proxies, that's not success. This is successful because it's being spread. And if you're on social media today, you've almost surely seen one of these videos.
You have called this asymmetric warfare, and I wonder if you could walk us through that term and why this is a significant sort of development.
Yeah, I think it's clear that Iran is not going to win a shooting war against the US and Israel. You know, toe to toe, they're going to lose that conflict. And it's clear that by and large, they have been losing the shooting war. So history tells us that the underdog is going to look for every advantage they have at their disposal. And in this case, it's clear that Iran has an information advantage. You know, they have a lot of folks out there, a lot of communities around the globe who are, you know, maybe not wanting to side with the West as they might normally, who are angry at Trump, angry at Netanyahu, and are looking for excuses to be critical of them. So these messages are reverberating through those communities quite loudly. And so Iran is using propaganda to make the conflict more painful for Israel, more painful for the US, probably to hopefully shorten the war from their perspective, and to make this politically difficult for their adversaries to continue.
The U.S. has responded. The White House account has responded. President Trump, of course, is no slouch when it comes to using social media for his own ends. But there's some differences. Can you walk us through the differences in tone, approach, objective from the Iranians compared to the White House?
Yeah, I think that when you look at information messaging coming out of the White House, it remains very focused on their base. A lot of the content is glorifying the violence, is glorifying the military, as Trump has done historically. And that, again, it's playing with his base fairly successfully, but that is still, you know, engaging in yesterday's politics. While Trump is engaging in a political campaign, Iran is fighting a global war. And so they're reaching out to much, much wider audiences, and they're looking for allies to spread that information organically. And frankly, they've been much more successful.
There's misinformation, there's disinformation, however you want to call it, but from both sides here, the Iranians and the official White House accounts, are you seeing evidence of active disinformation campaigns to throw off a population on one side or the other?
Oh, it's certainly the case that Iran has engaged in a good deal of disinformation, not just propaganda. So a lot of the AI content is propaganda, like the Lego videos. That's propaganda. Those are cartoons. They're not meant to be believed as anything other than just political messaging. But they also engage in various forms of disinformation. There have been fake videos, for instance, fake images of strikes in Israel, strikes on US assets that are clearly meant to make the Iranian military look more successful than it has in reality. And AI is at the point where a lot of that content looks far more believable than it has at any point in any past conflict. We have also seen the Iranians use fake social media accounts, social media accounts that purport to be UK or American citizens, and spread the messaging through those accounts. We identified a network of accounts that we attributed to the IRGC at the beginning of the conflict that, you know, before the conflict, these accounts were engaging in sort of Russian-style disinformation operations. They were pushing issues like trying to push the immigration issue in the US, or in the UK, they were pushing Scottish independence, of all things, you know, pain points for both of these, you know, geopolitical rivals of Iran. But the minute the conflict started, all of these assets shifted to pushing Iranian war propaganda. So, you know, you might have this account that was purporting to be a a lass living in County Cork talking about Irish politics who suddenly shifted to talking about how Khomeini was a martyr. And this seemed disingenuous, but it also indicated that, Iran was very squarely focused on the war, and it shifted all of their assets to focus on that.
We have also seen Iranian embassies, diplomats, one assumes, reacting to Donald Trump's posts. And I wonder if you could walk us through the significance of seeing some of these. Sometimes it can be quite funny, some of these posts, but they're engaging the embassies around the world with Trump.
Yeah, and a lot of these consulate and embassy pages have very large followings. And so they're reaching a lot of people, and that content is being picked up. A lot of that content, as you suggest, is irreverent, it's tongue-in-cheek, but it's also very defiant. Especially just before the declared ceasefire, you saw these accounts suggesting, that Iran would never surrender, and posting a lot of pro-Iranian imagery. So there is a breadth of messaging. It's not just the tongue-in-cheek. It's also just pure Iranian propaganda.
Well, Professor Linville, thank you so much for sharing some insights, some of your work, and it sounds like you have much more work to do.
We've been very busy.